Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we have some news updates for you from around the land of smiles today, Friday, January 3rd, TGIF.
Yes.
Before we begin, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Knocking on the door of 200,000. We'll get there soon.
Yes.
Now, today we will be talking about some out-of-control bus drivers, an ex-boxer facing charges after killing a security guard in a brawl, and a little later some updates on Vietnam's battle to combat falling birth rates.
Okay.
Swing. Now, on to our first story, though. Back here in Bangkok, as some American base jumpers are in legal hot water after a stunt right here in the city.
Okay.
Now, 3 American daredevils are facing backlash after a viral TikTok video showed them base jumping off the roof of Bangkok's M-Sphere Mall. The stunt, which occurred apparently last year on October 3rd, involved trespassing and a dramatic escape to Benja City Park on motorcycles. Identified as experienced base jumpers Armand Kremer, Matteo Leo Massoni, and Blake Smith, they used an elaborate infiltration plan to access the rooftop. The mall has filed trespassing charges, and police have labeled the act reckless. In response, M-Sphere has tightened security with rooftop cameras and 24-hour guards. Although the jumpers have left Thailand, legal action remains underway. Yeah, well, it was a cool video.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. But yeah, obviously putting the public at risk, themselves at risk. No licenses. There's a reason that these things are carefully regulated.
Well, if it was all licensed, then there'll be all like Red Bull logos everywhere, and then it'd be a professional jumping out. But that's not as fun.
Yeah, but that's how it's, what if they had died? Right?
Yeah, no, yeah, look.
That would have been...
What they did was absolutely reckless. It should not be done. But are you telling me you've never thought about just jumping off a building with a parachute?
Like in video games, but not IRL.
So you're not an adrenaline junkie?
No.
Okay,
no,
fair
certainly,
enough. Most people aren't.
Yeah, well, I get my kicks other ways, but yeah, in any case, I wonder if these guys will actually get in trouble because they're not in Thailand.
Yeah.
And if they know that they're in trouble in Thailand, will they come back?
Yeah.
It seems like they have no reason to be.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story that's taking us to Pattaya as a Pattaya bus driver rams SUV in a parking dispute. You've heard taxi trouble. Now we're having bus trouble as a parking dispute in Pattaya turned violent when a tour bus driver intentionally rammed a Bolt SUV after an argument with its driver. The altercation, captured on video, occurred on December the 30th outside a North Pattaya hotel. The bus driver, frustrated over the SUV blocking his way, escalated the situation despite the taxi driver moving his car to make room. Now, witnesses say the bus driver attempted a physical confrontation before ramming the SUV in a fit of rage. While the tour company agreed to cover vehicle damages, they refused to compensate the taxi driver for lost income, with the driver dismissively stating he had no money.
Yeah, they're going at it down there.
There we go.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, this does kind of suck. The bus driver did take him out of commission. It seems like the bus company's like, look, we'll pay for your damages, but what about when the car's
Don't steal someone's parking spot, bro.
Oh, God, I don't know, man. Like, driving just brings out the worst in
does.
people.
It really does. Even civilized people. You could be living in a really nice condo in Bangkok, where you have your own private parking. But if you see someone else parking, how would you feel if someone else is parking in your driveway? You're going to key their car? What are you going to do?
I'd call a tow truck or something like that. There's got to be better ways than how these guys are handling it. But
ram into it.
Yeah, their rage just boils over, and all of a sudden you're dealing with this. Fortunately, no serious injuries or anything like that. But yeah, you got to be careful out there, man. You never know when you're going to set someone off, and like they push past their crazy threshold and make you their enemy number one. All right. Well, that's not the only drama on a bus that we have today, as Russian tourists have been injured in droves on a Pattaya bus crash. So a bus carrying 37 Russian tourists to Pattaya crashed into a stationary Toyota Fortuner SUV. What? Another? At the Penh toll booth on January 2nd, injuring 27 of the passengers. Witnesses reported the bus veered unexpectedly, causing severe damage to both vehicles. Emergency responders quickly transported the injured to Pattaya hospitals, with several suffering broken bones, but no life-threatening injuries, thank goodness. The remaining 10 passengers were safely transported to their hotel. Authorities suspect excessive speed or abrupt maneuvers as possible causes, pending further investigation.
That looks a lot more than just kind of losing control. That bus was traveling extremely fast.
Yeah, unsafe.
That looks like a horrific accident. I'm glad. Something worse didn't happen, man.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things. The bus typically wins those collisions, that's for sure. And fortunately, nobody seriously injured in this incident. But
that looked like a train just going straight into the barrier. Whoa.
You got there's a subreddit. I'm gonna swear very quickly. Sorry, it's early in the morning. It's called "Bitch, I'm a Bus," and it's just about videos of buses just careening through things because they are so massive. Yeah. And once they have their momentum going, you just got to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everybody's okay in this situation, more or less. But again, what was the reason? Is it just irresponsible driving? Was there mechanical failure? These bus companies are taking a beating in the public sphere at this point, and they got to get it together, man, because it has been a bad year in the press for them.
All right. For now, we're going to move on to our next story regarding a South Korean man arrested after a high-speed chase. A high-speed chase in Thailand. A South Korean man was arrested near Pattaya. Who would have guessed? After a dramatic 100-kilometer high-speed chase ended in a fiery crash on Highway 36. The suspect, aged 35 to 40, flipped his pickup truck, which caught fire after colliding with a guardrail. Police extinguished the flames and discovered a bag of cash inside the vehicle as well. The chase began when the suspect attacked a woman on the motorway and fled, damaging multiple cars and evading authorities. The pursuit ended when a tire burst, causing the truck to overturn. Despite attempting to flee on foot, the suspect was apprehended and faces legal action under Thai law.
Well, that was a bit of a breakdown.
All right. Pattaya is seeing a lot of action.
Indeed. 100 kilometers. That's
a long chase.
Yeah, that's not short, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You gotta wonder, like, at what point do you set up some roadblocks or something
did
like
they
that?
get
I don't really know.
helicopters involved? Was this like a classic, like, Channel 9 News anchorman moment?
Yeah. Yeah, wow. I just watched that movie recently. Car chase? It's never been done on the news. Well, that's
you don't actually get to hear a lot of car chases in Thailand. They're just like, he's gone.
Yeah. Well, not in this case, because this guy, it began with assault and then it ended with more property damage. He flipped his own car and then he ran away on foot. This is some proper OJ stuff going on. In any case, apprehended. We'll see. I wonder what the cause was. Like, is this just like a mental breakdown thing? Was there some revenge involved? Or it's still all a little unclear. But the point is,
Yaba.
He ruined a lot of days. Yeah, could be.
Yeah,
that
Larry Busby says it best. Yabba dabba don't.
Indeed. Yeah. Not once, everybody.
Yeah.
And Elliot says some Fast and Furious moments in the land of smiles. Yes, in all the wrong ways. It's not good. Whatever, some good old-fashioned police-sanctioned street racing. That'd be good, but not today. All right, today I have a weird, tragic incident today, and this is something that hits a little close to home because it was a big deal in Australia when I lived there. There was all sorts of campaigns against this kind of activity, but an ex-boxer has been arrested after a fatal punch. So a former Thai boxer with a history of mental illness was arrested for fatally punching a security guard during a January 1st celebration in Sakon Nakhon. The suspect, 38-year-old Thom, attacked volunteer security guards, leaving one victim, Somchai, with fatal head injuries after falling unconscious and hitting the ground. 3 others sustained minor injuries. Thom, arrested at his nearby home, appeared confused and refused to answer police questions. Witnesses reported he displayed uncontrollable strength during the attack. Known for prior drug use and mental health treatments, Thom may face charges under Section 297 of Thailand's criminal law, carrying penalties of 6 months to 10 years imprisonment and fines of up to 200,000 baht. Doesn't seem like enough, I gotta say.
Well, that was a difficult video to watch. That guy's a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
He was knocking people out left, right, and center. I mean, you know, when someone punches you and someone just falls down, not moving, multiple people.
It's one of those things where, like, this happens sometimes where people that are trained fighters and things like that, they go into some sort of instinctual mode where they just start, the training kicks in and they are all of a sudden able to eliminate people very quickly. And this is another problem. You compound that with the fact that these guys get beat up for a living, right? They take a lot of head trauma, and the CTE does build up and leads to mental health issues, which this guy had already been experiencing. So the compounding effect of the brain damage with the he is a trained killer, that body is there, then it just gets set off, and all of a sudden we have a tragic incident like that. So,
and what do you do when these kind of situations happen? I mean, like a couple of guys tried to go in there one by one. Eventually, I think like just 20 people stormed him, and that might be the only way to get that person down. But damn, I mean, I would say don't be a hero. Like, try to get professionals involved, because even the professionals were going to have trouble stopping this guy. But
it's definitely one of those things, man, where, I don't know, being the hero can be very dangerous. And unfortunately, in this situation, there is some tragedy. We'll see. I don't know. Up to 10 years, that doesn't seem like enough. Of course, he didn't mean to kill the guy, but at the same time, the result is the same.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
Tough stuff.
All right. We're going to move on to our last story from Thailand, talking about MP questioning Chinese police training program. An MP from the People's Party, Sasisan Thamnitinan, has questioned the Royal Thai Police about a training program for Chinese volunteer police, focusing on its legality, the 38,000 baht fee, and the issuance of identification cards with the national emblem. Conducted in collaboration with Siam University, the 3-day training aimed to teach Chinese students about Thai law. But concerns arose over fee allocation and the use of official police insignia. The RTP clarified that their officers only served as lecturers and denied any involvement in financial arrangements or the distribution of emblem-bearing items. However, Sasinan challenged the jurisdiction of the officers involved and questioned whether the program exceeded its stated purpose.
Drama.
Indeed.
This is, it's a weird story because, all right, first of all, it's 38,000 baht for a 3-day course.
Yeah.
Seems a bit excessive. And then what are you buying for that exactly?
Well, you'll get an official badge and an official hat and also a jacket to make you look like a bad boy.
To what end, right? Like, is this something... So Chinese have this... habit of setting up their own policing in other countries, where they're trying to police their own citizens who are off in other countries, just traveling and enjoying laws of another country. Chinese enforce their own laws everywhere in the world. Technically, all people in the entire world are subject to Chinese laws, according to them. So it's one of those weird things where money talks, and apparently they could buy influence potentially, or at least allegedly, with the Royal Thai Police, and it's something that is raising concerns in Parliament. So we'll see how this investigation plays out and if any wrongdoing actually happened, but does seem suspicious, I think I will have to say. Well, anyways, on to our ASEAN section of the news, and our first stop is going to be over to South Korea, where there is unfolding drama that is centered around the impeachment of the acting president and the former president. Well, the impeached South Korean president is resisting detention. That's right, impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol faces possible detention after defying a corruption investigation into his martial law imposition on December 3rd. Yoon, rallying supporters outside his Seoul residence, vowed to resist anti-state forces, quote-unquote, and claimed police attempting to detain him could face arrest by his security service. The anti-corruption agency's detainment warrant, valid for 1 week, comes amid legal challenges and heightened political tensions. Thousands of Yoon's supporters protested while critics accused him of inciting obstruction. If detained, investigators have 48 hours to decide his fate. Now, the Constitutional Court deliberates whether to uphold Yoon's impeachment, requiring 6 of 9 justices to formally remove him. Some updates, too. They are right outside of his house. There's a whole police force out there trying to raid and carry out this arrest warrant while he has a security team there barring them from entering. So we are presently awaiting to see what the result of this will be, because there is some high drama unfolding up there.
Yeah. All right.
Crazy stuff. On to the next one.
I don't know much to say.
So.
All right. We're going to move on to our next story, taking us to Indonesia, where Jakarta police director dismissed over extortion scandal. You love a good extortion scandal story, Alex. Well, Senior Commissioner Donald Parluangan Simanjuntak, Jakarta Metro Police's Director of Drug Investigation, has been dishonorably dismissed for his role in an extortion scandal during the Jakarta warehouse project. In December 2024, allegations include ordering drug tests on Malaysian spectators and extorting 2.5 billion rupiah, or over US $155,000. Lawmaker Abdullah supported the dismissal, citing strong evidence and urging transparency in the ongoing ethics hearings for others involved. He called for criminal penalties under extortion laws to restore public trust and address the damage to Indonesia's global reputation. Proceedings for one implicated officer are set to resume this week. A lot more than trouble with Apple.
Yeah, so these guys, this was an interesting story because the police got rid of them himself. Usually the police sort of like, you know, they circle the wagons and they try to protect their own. Not in this case, thrown under the bus for sure, which leads you to think that maybe he was really doing something bad.
Yeah,
and lawmakers are supporting his dismissal as well. Also, though, one of those things that, all right, dismissal, is that enough? Like, right? Like, just being dismissed from your job, being fired for maybe the years of corruption and the bad stuff that you've been doing for a long time. Is that punishment enough?
Is it?
Another question. So
Who
please,
knows?
Indonesia, let us know your thoughts on this story.
Yeah.
Well, our next stop, we are heading off to Vietnam,
All right.
where apparently they are just not bumping uglies enough.
Okay.
Vietnam's birth rate has hit a record low in 2024. Somebody play the Barry White. Vietnam's birth rate hit a record low of 1.91 births per woman in 2024, continuing a downward trend below the replacement rate of 2.1 for the third year. Okay. This decline raises concerns about sustaining economic growth and managing a rapidly aging population, projected to make Vietnam a super-aged society by 2049, with over 20% of the population aged 65 or older. Officials highlighted gender imbalances and called for improved healthcare and reproductive services to address the issue. The health ministry is drafting a population law for 2025 to stabilize fertility rates, proposing measures like encouraging childbirth before the age of 35 and removing penalties for having a third child. I'd say that's a good start, I guess. Look, I think a lot of people are figuring out that look, it's not about propaganda campaigns. It's not about like, oh, I'm going to see an advertisement about some lovely couple having a baby, and then I'll think, oh, I want a baby too. It's simple economics, man. People are not making enough money. Raising a child is very expensive.
Yeah.
It's happening all over the world, and it just boggles my mind that people in power cannot realize this. Like, they want the replacement rate so that they can continue to have cheap labor, but they don't do anything to support families to be able to make those babies. So,
and also the fact that a lot of people are just thinking differently now. You know, like not everyone wants a baby. Some people just want to be independent and live their life and spend their money on themselves.
Yeah, I mean that's a big part of it, because again, the opportunity cost. Like, how much does it cost to raise that child? Are they entering into a better world? Right? It used to be that you would think, oh, my children will have a better life than me.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people aren't as optimistic as they used to be, particularly because these problems persist.
Yeah.
Like, good luck, Vietnam. Good luck, world.
Yeah.
It seems like a tough issue.
All right, we're going to move on to our last story for today that takes us to Cambodia, in particular Phnom Penh, as it draws record New Year tourists. Hey, Cambodia is doing well this tourist season, as Phnom Penh set a record with over 1.5 million visitors during New Year's Eve celebrations, leading Cambodia's nationwide total of 3.5 million tourists. The capital's Celebrating Cambodia event showcased parades, performances, concerts, and fireworks, boosting its reputation as a cultural hub. Other provinces like Prea Sihanouk and Siem Reap also saw high turnout, while underdeveloped regions like Pre Veng and Krati highlight growth opportunities. Tourism contributed significantly to the economy, with Angkor Wat ticket sales generating nearly $48 million in 24, a 28% rise from 2023. Cambodia's Build Plus 3Ds strategy targets ecotourism, cultural promotion, and improved infrastructure, alongside campaigns like Visit Siem Reap 2024.
Congratulations.
Have you ever been to Cambodia?
I have not.
Bro, you gotta go to Cambodia.
I know. I've heard
Cambodia is
great things.
lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Siem Reap is very peaceful, very nice, good food, lovely people, great temples, great like sights to see. Phnom Penh is more of a kind of like a Bangkok city, but it's also cool.
Yeah,
it's just different.
I would go for the party. I love a good city, like to feel the vibe and everything like that. I gotta tell you, little templed out. I've been to way too many temples in my travels in Asia.
Can I also say, if you're coming from Thailand or like if you're Thai going to Cambodia, it's a great feeling. They treat you so well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they love Thailand or they love Thai people or whatever the reason is. I think they've got good relationships. But every time we went anywhere and they knew we were Thai, they were like really cool and super nice to us.
Ah, nice. That's a wonderful.
Yeah, it's like my brother from another country kind of feeling, and it's like, oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. They got all these new bus routes, and like it's being very easy to get over the border in Cambodia these days. So yeah, maybe that's on the horizon. I'd love to go check it out.
All right.
But yeah, in any case.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Those are some of the stories from across Thailand today. You can find more stories on thethaiger.com and join in the conversation at
ASEANnow.com,
which is Thailand's largest English forum, if you didn't know. For now, we're going to move into the live chat and see what the people are talking about.